Welcome back to the Greater You. Really good to see you guys today. We've got a good video for you today. We're working on the relationship trait series, and we are on trait number 7. Let's take a look here, do our share. Very important set of traits that we're discussing. Remember, every single one of these are pretty pivotal in the romantic relationship development process. Remember, as we've said, both within ourselves and also in the partner that we're looking for. We wanted to work to develop the trait that's on the left side of the screen, trustworthiness in this case, and move away from the trait on the right side of the screen, dishonesty in this case. So let's talk about this trustworthiness versus dishonesty. This one almost seems like a no-brainer, but it needs to be highlighted. And there's some nuances to this that we'll discuss. So first of all, the trait we want to have and also seek is trustworthiness. Trustworthiness is tied in with integrity. It's obviously honesty, right? But it's also loyalty, right? And it's also integrity. If you say you're going to do something, you do your best to follow through. If you're not going to be able to follow through, you let your partner know, like, oh, I was going to do this. And then this work meeting came up. I really am so sorry. Being really honest and forthright about commitments. No one is perfect at anything, right? But trustworthiness, we can really develop a lot of that by having our actions and our words and our intentions all match up. We call that alignment at the Greater You Coaching. We want to have our actions and our intentions and our behaviors and our thoughts and our words. We want all those things to align, and that develops trustworthiness in our partners. Like, wow, when he or she says X, Y, or Z, they do their best to follow through with it. So you can trust them. Clearly, there's a deeper layer of this, which is trustworthiness about the relationship itself. Not having wandering eyes and rubbernecking and not, having inappropriate relationships with other people that could be misconstrued as romantic. Having really good relationship boundaries. Sure, have friends that are same or opposite or different genders or whatever. That's all well and good. Just have good boundaries around your friendships, especially with friendships with, single people, right? But anyone having good boundaries in those relationships and having a really open dialogue with your significant other about those friendships. We find that trustworthiness is built and maintained in these romantic relationships when you are open about your friends and your partner gets to meet them and everyone's kind of open and they're understanding the kind of, circle that you're coming from. Clearly, a person that you want to be able to have in your life long term, needs to be able to be connected to your friendships or supportive of them. If we have a romantic relationship that's somehow clandestine or isolated from all the rest of your life, that's kind of strange and maybe could breed dishonesty or break trust or even just cause isolation, which isn't healthy either. So trustworthiness is everything from, being having good fidelity in the relationship and commitment to the relationship itself, but it's also keeping commitments that you make to one another. And it's also being reliable and doing our best to have that integrity to have our thoughts and our words and our actions and our intentions all match up. Dishonesty is really insidious. And one of the dynamics to talk about in this that I was just studying from one of the many trainings I go through, a fellow, this psychologist was talking about this idea that sometimes the dishonesty cycle occurs in marriages or romantic relationships when one person has a tendency to blow up, right? So if a person is volatile and, it's like, hey, you were going to call the plumber and then you forget to call the plumber. And then the person, your spouse or whatever is like yelling at you because you didn't call the plumber. That actually makes the person who's struggling with the honesty go deeper into their dishonesty because they know they're going to get emotionally punished if they admit the reality. By the way, that comes up in parenting all day long. If we're explosive as parents, when kids make mistakes, they're going to be more likely to be dishonest with you because they don't want the emotional pain of having you lose your mind at them. So dial that in, right? If you want to have a trustworthy relationship, you need to also be able to manage your own emotions and your own anger so that you're not emotionally punishing someone when they make mistakes. Because Everyone makes mistakes, right? So those are a few tidbits on the trustworthiness factor. It is a really important trait to develop within yourself, tied in with integrity, tied in with honesty, tied in with alignment of thoughts, words, actions, values, and really working to make that alignment line up. And we want it to be open, is so that your person that you're dating knows where you stand on these things, and they in both ways, that you both know where each other are in that, desire for trustworthiness and cultivation of trust in the relationship. So that's it for today. Like this video if you liked it. I feel like these are really key traits. When you add them all up, you become the kind of person that you're looking for in your relationship. So that's it for this one. We'll talk to you soon. And that's signing off with the greater you. Take care.